no pressure on
You
this.
know, I'm relaxed.
All right. Well, my name is Andy Warner, and this is Our East Tennessee. And today we have a special treat. I'm here with Miss Virginia Laws, and sweet lady, dear sweet lady, and good friend of the family. So
Thank you.
we are excited to talk with you and to
Okay.
learn some from you. You've lived through a lot of life.
A lot of life.
What year were you born?
1920.
1920. So that makes you
106.
That is amazing. That is amazing. What a privilege. So
what
that
a lot I've lived through. I witnessed the attempted assassination of Roosevelt in Miami. There was an individual who resented Roosevelt. He had stomach problems and he blamed Roosevelt for that. So that afternoon he bought a pistol with the intent of killing Roosevelt. And luckily, and my mother happened to be sitting right on the front row because Uncle Ed was in charge of the camp in Miami. So that was a frightening thing to have happen.
Oh, I'm sure. Now, where were you born?
Elizabethton.
In Elizabethton,
Mm-hmm.
and still there. Been there your whole life, but
Well,
you've traveled a lot.
Except for,
So, tell us about some of the places you've gotten to see around the world, and some of your favorite places that you've been.
well, let's see. Donna, I was Donna's student
Okay.
in the first grade, and she selected me to be her traveling companion.
Okay.
So we traveled together, and that opened my eyes to a lot of things because she wanted to travel. She wanted to see places, wanted to go everywhere she could.
Oh, how fun.
So we took a cruise. We took a ship out of New York and took a cruise up to Newport. Went through that beautiful residence up there, and visited a lot of places along the way up there. And went to Peggy's Island. It was interesting because she wanted to do those things. I got to do those things.
Okay.
So it was wonderful.
Oh, how fun.
We had a good relationship.
Now, so if you were born in 1925, 1920, I about shaved 5 years off for you there. You got to see Great Depression, World War II, Korean War, television, moon landings.
All those things. All those things. I'm a living history.
That is amazing. With our kids, these are just things you read about now.
Yes.
You don't get to talk with people that lived through them. What do you remember about growing up in East Tennessee? What was this area like when you were a little girl?
Well, when I was a little girl, we had a beautiful home over in the Biltmore area. Mother loved that home. But when the Depression came along, and my parents owned an overall factory.
Okay.
And they manufactured overalls. And my father would travel up through Virginia and take samples and take orders, and then the next week he would deliver whatever people had ordered. So I enjoyed going to the overall factory and watching. They had about 30 women sewing, and if you were downstairs, you could hear the hum of all those sewing machines as they were upstairs.
Oh, wow.
I remember the man's name who was the foreman, Victor Broyles.
Okay.
And he was over all the women. There were 30 women who worked there.
Wow.
And next to the overall factory was the flour mill.
Okay.
So they had a flour mill. And both of them were powered by water that came down. They diverted the main river, and part of it went on down river, but part of it powered the flour mill and powered the overall factory.
Wow.
So that was interesting, that a fact that I just took for granted, noticing that. my mother was the director of the welfare department,
Okay.
and she had a girl who worked for her named Mary, and her income was dependent on this taxi driver, and he was really abusive to Mary.
Mm.
So Mary, a mother told Mary, "You do not have to tolerate this. I can get you a check. You can be independent. You're eligible to get a check." Well, this made the taxi driver really angry with Mother.
Sure.
And he called Mother, or Mary called. They lived over in a section called Biltmore.
Okay.
And Mary called and said, "Would you come over? There's some facts I remembered I want to tell you in order to get a check."
Mm.
And when she started to back out, she was in a hurry, and her car hit the bumper of the car next to her. So they had to call the police, make a report, what happened and how it happened. And that held Mother up about 15 or 20 minutes. And he intended to kill Mother. And that accident, with what seemed to be a terrible accident, saved her life.
Oh, wow.
Because he resented Mother helping her. She wasn't totally dependent on this cab driver. So I thought that was so interesting. Sometimes something that happens we think is bad is actually works out to be something that saves our life.
Yes, it does.
Now we moved down to, during the Depression, my people owned an overall factory, and they manufactured overalls.
Yep.
But during the Depression, things got bad, and the overall factory went under.
Okay.
So my uncle Ed lived in Miami. He told my mother, "Why don't you come down here for a while and let my father get on his feet and get settled a little bit better
Sure.
financially." So we went down to live with
Wow.
with Uncle Ed, and Uncle Ed was one of these promoters.
Okay. Okay.
He was a talker, and he helped MC and run horse races. I mean, they had dog races down there, and so he would MC that and talk about that. But anyway, we enjoyed that little bit because we had never seen the ocean, so we got to go.
Oh, how fun.
We got to go out and go swimming in the ocean, and that was a big treat for us.
Oh, I'm sure.
So we stayed there with Uncle Ed till Dad got settled a little bit, and then we went back. But it was a nice change for us,
Oh, sure.
being in Miami and seeing seeing Florida and seeing the ocean. So we came back eventually, and
Do you remember the slot machines?
who's talking to
The
me?
slot machines on the way back.
Oh, yes, thanks for reminding me of that. So Mother saw this machine. She said, "What is that?" And they said, "That's a slot machine." And what do? Well, you put money in, and sometimes you get a lot of money back, and sometimes you don't get any back. So we stopped in DeLand, Florida. Mother put in some money in the slot machine, and all this money came tumbling out. So Mother said she paid our way home through the slot machine.
Oh, that's amazing. That is amazing.
She stopped and played those slot machines. Mother always thought she was lucky anyway, a little bit. So she said she paid our way home through the slot machine.
That's great. Do you remember how old you were when you moved to Miami?
12.
And how old were you when you came back?
We were only there about a year.
About a year, okay.
Mhm.
What was school like for you in Elizabethton?
Well, a school in DeLand was, in Florida was a little different. I went to school down there for a year too.
Okay. Yes.
And a little more advanced than Elizabeth.
Okay. Okay.
And they had calisthenics for us every day. We would go out and do our little exercises, arms up, arms down. Different things that wherever the coach directed us.
Okay.
So that was something we didn't do in Elizabeth.
Okay.
It was calisthenics. So that was enjoyable. I enjoyed that.
Sure.
So then after we came back, Mother was a good friend of Browning, who was the governor of Tennessee. And she got a position where she was the director of whether people got a check or not. So they had to come in and fill out an application, and then she had to pay a visit to their home to be sure that what they were telling, that they really needed help.
Yes.
So she made a lot of visits.
And did a lot of women have jobs in those days?
No.
That seems my.
There are a few women. There were 3 women were outstanding to me, and one was Grace Shell, who was over the post office.
Okay.
She ran the post office. And one was Mrs. C.E. Smith, and she ran the Red Cross.
Okay.
And the other, let's see, there was Mrs. Smith and Mother. They were just prominent women, and one was Hallie Reiner, and she was an attorney and smart woman. So I had a lot of smart women in Elizabethton who had positions of prominence. And so I remember those women as being leaders. And,
and did that inspire you as a young girl looking up to them?
I just thought that was normal. I thought, oh,
that's great.
women
That's great.
had jobs like that. Then, let's see, who else was there in Elizabethton, a woman of prominence? Well, I mentioned Grace Shell. She was postmistress. And Mrs. C.E. Smith was over the Red Cross. And Mother was over the welfare department.
Okay.
So
you ended up, you graduated high school and then you ended up going to college, right?
yes.
And you went to ETSU is what I understand?
Yes.
Okay. And so what year would that have been?
Well, that would have been, well, I'm not sure what year it would have been.
Well, you went to a business college first, and your mother
I
talked you.
did.
Your
Steve
mother talked you.
Business College.
Yeah, your mother talked you into signing up for something.
She remembers more.
That's great.
How than I do.
Well, in Virginia,
That's right. I went to Steve Business College.
Yeah, for first.
And worked and stayed there for a year.
And you worked at Benberg and then.
Yes, I worked in the payroll department.
And then in
And I was so ugly. The man who worked opposite me would work on the payroll, and he was older. I was not very sympathetic. I was a young, smart-aleck girl that could do everything and didn't have much patience with poor old Mr. Jordan, who sat across the desk from me. So, but anyway, we liked each other. We got along okay. So I worked there for a while.
Okay.
Now let's see, the Bureau of Engraving and Printing. I had signed up when I was younger, about 17 or 18. Mother said they've got a notice over there on the wall to sign up for positions in Washington or different places.
Oh, wow.
So I went over and signed up, and then I was called to come to Washington to work when they did the census.
Okay.
When they did the census, they put everyone in different positions. You had to categorize so they could find out how many were farmers and how many were businessmen and the population of the United States at that time. So I worked with that a while, worked with them in Washington. on that.
Mm.
So we lived in Washington. It was so hot
Oh,
in
wow.
downtown Washington. And they had an island called Haynes Point. And lots of times we would just take our blankets and pillows and go out to Haynes Point and sleep out there. That's how safe things were back then.
Wow.
It was cool out there.
That's
We'd take
amazing.
Our blankets and pillows and go out to Haynes Point and spend the night out there. I don't think you could do that today. I don't think it'd be safe to go out to Haynes Point. So we lived there in Washington, and then Roy was called into the Navy, into service, and I moved back home.
Okay.
We lived there in Washington. So I came back to my mother's, and just me and my 2 children.
Okay.
So I stayed there with mother, lived with mother a while.